Ladies and gentlemen of the grimdark future, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to this casted community showdown. It's going to be Aspect playing the Eldar, facing off against the Lord Labudova and the Tau on the west side of the map. So let's go ahead and break it down and have some fun. Now, if you guys did see our big community tournament we had for Tau 1, the winner of the tournament actually was Aspect, this Eldar player. So I haven't seen this matchup too much. Very curious to see the applications and tactics. I feel like those Tau late game armies can be really brutal when they get the upgraded range on the Fire Warriors and some of the heavier firepower. It can get pretty crunk, but again, the happy feat from the Eldar, Dark Reapers, map control, Howling Banshee is pretty good for, diving and disruption as well. Always a fun time. Takes me back to the old Hammer days. Now, out of the gates, Tau Commander is going to be built almost immediately here by our Tau player, and let's see what the opening's going to be. Okay, Rangers with the stealth sniping. I feel like that's pretty good. With the infiltrate, they can get in, they can poke, break the morale of the enemy Tau units at range, and just be really, really annoying in the early game. Even just kind of lurking near capture points, you have them offset over here a little bit, and your opponent's trying to capture this point. You poke their capture units, whether, they're Earth cast builders, I think would be the case here, right? Yeah, these guys for the Tau. Good luck, have fun being dropped. This is a replay, of course, but it does remember the dreaded text. And Stealth Team's going to be grabbing these strategic points wherever they can, and for the old Eldar, it is going to be, so one Guardian built, and is that a second Guardian? Okay, two Guardian squads, as well as of course, we saw the Rangers coming out. Okay, so that's going to be the opening here. And I would imagine it's going to be, infiltration. Okay, so that gives them the stealth ability. Yes, yes, so they're going to be nice and invisible, very creepy. And I mean, I think every Eldar game I've seen is pretty much, sometimes in some matchups you'll see the Rangers being called in, but after that it's almost always the Dark Reapers. I'm curious if there's going to be a little bit of variance here in this matchup. Over on the side, Guardians out of the map grabbing, we do see Warlocks being added in. So Warlocks do detect infiltrated units. So in the Tau matchup, that's very important because of the stealth teams all over the board early on. You're going to want to have some vision on those bad boys. And did he do it on the other squad as well? Okay, so it looks like no Warlock on that squad. Just on the one that he's maybe looking to send with his Rangers across the map, I would guess. Hard to say. Dude, look at the power stance on that. Look at the leg. Oh my god, the old graphics are so ridiculous. I love it. So, for the Tau, we do get a Kroot Carnivore squad coming out. These guys pretty terrible at range, but they know how to boink in melee. They do have 33 to 45 damage, so pretty high damage profile. Comparatively, like a Chaos Space Marine unit, which is more of a hybrid shooting / melee unit, but they also have, I think, 41 top-end melee damage. So these Kroots, they know how to go fisticuffs for sure, and they are going to be teaming up with the Tau Commander. I can't help but feel they're just going to be getting kited by the happy feet of the Eldar, and we do see that right away. So let's go to the Eldar perspective. And the Rangers are stealth, and they're going to start bopping these Kroots on the head. And every Kroot you take down is 45 requisition or manpower, whatever it's called in this game. So certainly not a bad grab. So a little bit of scooting and shooting, very much StarCraft Marine micro here, as the Kroots are looking for their goodies. And now comes in the old Vespid Stingwing strain. Okay, so they're heavy infantry, and are pretty good for base harassing, going after generators, those type of things. And it looks like the Tau player is going to be going for a lot more aggressive diving, so getting a Kroot Carnivore squad, the Vespids out of the gates, just units in general that are good at diving and harassing ranged. Now, map control, pretty similar. Relic being taken here by a stealth team, and we do see the Guardians doing it up here as well. So both players on very similar timings in terms of the early map presence. Do we see the Dark Reapers being added on? Oh, wow, actually going Howling Banshees. Now, he might have gotten the Dark Reaper Aspect Stone already. I'm not sure if that's the case, but Howling Banshees, yeah, I love it. I mean, diving onto Tau gun lines is pretty important here, and the Rangers are providing some decent range DPS, however, being harassed very heavily by the Vespid Stingwing strains. Guardian shooting, their damage is a little bit subpar. It's not amazing, but, it can do a little something. Now, base harass, Vespid Stingwing's going to be moving in for Lord Labu here, as he does get in onto the plasma generator. And Vespids are really good for base harass. And this kind of tactic is nice because it keeps your opponent's army in their base and allows you to kind of play the map a little bit safer against the very scary fast Eldar. No losses yet for these Stingwings. I don't believe. Their morale did get broken by the Guardian sniping, or the Rangers. And now they're going to be retreating back, getting attacked by Howling Banshees. Howling Banshees they hit pretty hard. They have 58 top-end damage. And with Happy Feet, they can really, really run after things and pursue. And that is kind of something in this game that's a little bit hog wild. When you have units of equal speed chasing each other, or they're standing on top of each other fighting and one unit runs, the pursuing unit usually doesn't do a lot of damage in melee, but with the Happy Feet, these guys can really get in there and put the moves on and chase things down and actually make contact. Same with the Warp Talons or the Raptors for Chaos. When you get the jetpack research, you can kind of speed along and do some damage. Now, a bit of a pit fight here. It's going to be Howling Banshees versus the Kroots, and we do see the Stingwing strain jumping on top of the Rangers, which is a good call. The Howling Banshees, though, looking all right. It looks like there is a Farseer in the mix, so we do get the Farseer coming in here with her anime moves, and The morale of the Croots is broken. Howling Banshee is able to win that fight decisively, and it does look like Aspect is able to micro away the Rangers, reset them, get a couple shots. Very, very clean. And honestly, the Eldar army there was just a bit stronger. Howling Banshees were quite numerous with 11 models. The Stingwing Strain maxes out at only 5, so just the amount of DPS coming out of the Banshees is going to massively overshadow that of the Vespid. Granted, the Vespids are like a flying dynamic unit in that way, but in a straight-up fight, the Banshee's probably going to karate chop them, right? A little bit of poke coming from downtown. We do see Aspect shooting with his Rangers, chipping wounds off the Tau Commander, and the Tau Commander does have the heavy cover here, so that's going to mitigate some of that. And what are they going to be shooting now? Yeah, still just wearing down the Tau Commander, and Lord Labudova is going to notice this, calling out the Vespid Stingwings, and the Happy Feet are going to be moving in. And yeah, Eldar are a faction that I think are just so damn strong, but they do require a lot of micro to play, and you really have to be super good with your fleet foot micros, especially with your range units. Like, you'll see players like Aspect, this player, he's amazing. The way he plays Eldar, he makes them look so damn good. Like, his micro with the Happy Feet on his range units, whenever he turns it off right away. Like, he gets in position, he can do it with like 3 or 4 units at once while he's being pressured. We had that crazy grand final game between him and Bioshift. You guys remember that with the Orcs? He ended up winning the final 2-1, but in the one game where the Orc did win, the Orc player was chasing like 4 different Eldar units, and he was like individually Happy Feet microing all of them, turning it off, shooting, remic. It was nuts. It was some really, really sweaty micro, which is always fun to see in RTS games. So Guardian's going to be grabbing the middle, and we do also see the high ground critical location being taken by Aspect as well. So Homie's looking pretty comfortable there. Rangers shooting into the building. They don't do a lot of damage against buildings, but it is enough to put a clock on your opponent or force a worker out, and then they bring a worker to repair it. You snipe the worker, you profit, right? Little things like that. So Dark Reapers are going to be coming out for the DPS for the army. Plasma Generator is coming up. He is going to be on 4 Plasma Generator, and the Soul Shrine is out, and Call of War. Okay, so that's the one that just juices up your Howling Banshees. It gives them armor. I believe also gives them power swords as well, movement speed. Yeah, it's really, really good. And they do get the Shrieking ability too, which is very, very strong for morale stuff. So Tau of Fire Warriors, we do see the Path to Enlightenment, I believe. Yeah, it's coming in the back. So the Path to Enlightenment is going to be giving the ranged upgrade to the Fire Warrior teams, which is really essential. And the Tau, if they can get a Death Star, it's no joke. Looking at the income for both players, we do see 115 for the Tau and 109. So despite the Tau being boxed in a little bit, they're doing pretty good economically. They have lost some of the fights, though, so that is going to be contributing to the army sizes. And it looks like we are going to get a bit of a Royal Rumble here. Howling Banshees do have that timing upgrade, though, so they're really going to be ripping these guys up in melee. Dark Reaper shooting into Croots, Happy Feet micro right there, and we do see the morale debuffing going down from the Rangers, and now the morale is offline of the Croots, so they're going to be doing severely, like, just way, way less work here on the battlefield. Dark Reapers continue shooting on the high ground. Beautiful Happy Feet micro. We see the Rangers moving, while the Howling Banshees are kind of like the ticking clock that's just kind of killing everything. Going to be moving into the Fire Warrior teams. You know, these models look pretty cool for their age, man. Hey, this was like 2004. I mean, of course it is slightly redesigned, but, you know, they did the best they could. The early 2000s were a great time for RTS in general. Rangers in good shape, and honestly, the Eldar didn't really take too much damage there. They were able to maneuver away. Rangers are full health. We do see the Dark Reapers looking pretty comfortable. The Tau Commander is going to be getting forced back. Path to Enlightenment is going to be pumping some upgrades, and yeah, this is a huge one. This is when you go from like, oh, this battle with the Tau is fun, to, oh god, it's going to be bad. This increases the damage and range of these bad boys, and stealth suits. So stealth suits are really cool because in tier 2, you can transition them into being a very good vehicle counter. So you can just go like big bricks of Fire Warriors with stealth suits, and you can do great work. Tau Commander, with his great range, able to poke some of these units. Aspect going to be moving into the cover. A Lord back here, just kind of holding on, but the listening post is finally going to be karate chopped. And looking at the income, 104 for the Tau, 115 for the Eldar. Eldar do have a support portal, and we do see Wraith Lords, but the priority is going to be Falcon Grab Tanks out of the gates, just to have that initial armor check on your opponent. And then from there, we're most likely going to be getting the big Giga Chad Wraith Lords to really punch into your opponent's base and, you know, face tank all those Fire Warriors and whatnot. Vehicle Beacon coming out for the Tau, so there it is. It's going to be dropping it like it's hot. Crew Carnivore is going to be heading to the south, while we do see the Rangers just setting up shop looking really cool. Yeah, the Rangers are an awesome unit. Eldar definitely got some style. I mean, I'm not a big fan of elves in fantasy. I don't know, they just don't tickle my pickle too much. I mean, I like some of the Wood Elf and Dark Elf aesthetics, but Eldar, like, Howling Banshees are so cool aesthetically. Dark Reapers are also really neat, and Rangers. I mean, Eldar got some cool shit. Falcon Grab Tanks lurking near here, and, you know, I just need to probably play against Eldar on tabletop and just get outmaneuvered super hard just to get the salt back in there, you know, but yeah, they're a cool faction. Happy Feet micro move it in, and one of the Fire Warriors is going to get picked off here. Awesome sniping here by the Rangers, and immediately breaking the morale of those guys. Pretty massive. Probably going to want to pull them back. We do see the Tau returning the favor, and they fire back with a vengeance. and are able to bleed a couple models here. Looks like we're going to have one really big decisive fight here in a minute. Eldar do have the Path to Enlightenment. They do have some Pathfinder teams as well for the sneaky. Falcon Grav Tank going to be setting up, putting some ranged firepower down, and are the stealth suits nearby. We see the first Tau tank coming out, the Hammerhead fish tank here, and that's basically what it is, Shark Tank. You guys get the idea. Listening post here does have some upgrades, a little bit of poke going down from both players, and it looks like the Eldar, what is he going to be building next? Another Howling Banshee. So I'm going to be using those Banshees to move in. You know, I always see the Eldar getting played. I'm like, dude, this looks so fun. I'm going to go play them. And then I just don't have the same micro this guy has. So I'm just like, oh, I'm too weak. Big fight going down here, though. And we do see the Eldar battle lines holding relatively firm, but they are taking some casualties on the Howling Banshees as they move in. Morale is broken. Crew's going to be reforming up, and the second Howling Banshee does arrive. So it's going to be Guardian, double Howling Banshee, Ranger, Dark Reaper, as well as a Falcon Grav Tank. And look how quick they kill that Devilfish troop carrier. God damn. I didn't think that one damage would be that substantial there, but they were really able to karate chop that thing really quickly. Like, this army doesn't look like it has a lot of anti-armor, but I guess it was able to do it. Man, impressive stuff. Another Grav Tank's going to be set up here in a moment, and the Tau still hanging in there. They do have their Fire Warrior teams being replenished, but the Eldar are currently cackling pretty hard. 97 against 140, so Aspect is really kind of taking over on the center of the map here. Repairing his Falcon Grav Tank. Tau going to be getting another Devilfish troop carrier coming out. Yeah, I knew it was some sort of a shark or fish. I couldn't remember. All right, good DPS though. You can see, man, you move into Fire Warriors and they really melt your shit. So some of these Howling Banshees are going to be very stoically standing there. And he just wanted to kind of get the Lightning Storm off for the Farseer. So that's why they were standing there eating those shots, being a blade of wounds essentially for the Howling Banshees. Moving and grooving are the Fire Warrior teams. The Devilfish troop carrier moving on and up, but the Howling Banshees, and not Howling Banshees, excuse me, Dark Reaper is really punching that thing. Man, I did not think that would be the case. There must be some forbidden sauce I'm not aware of. Granted, when you do get the Exarch, it massively increases the damage of the squad. So 2 troop carriers are out. Tau going to be dropping in a third one. So Tau are going to have 3 vehicles here versus the Eldar army. Eldar do have the map control though, and they are going to be winning in 1 minute and 44 seconds because they do have the top side, they do have the middle as well. And the battle for the fate of the Grimdark Future is here. Although in the Grimdark Future, battles are just, hey, they don't mean as much. Like in old school fantasy lore, it'd be like, oh god, Prague is besieged, but it's like in the grimdark 41st millennia, 10 billion worlds have been exploded, and more will be, it's always just, constant warfare, right? Big fight is on, though. We do see the Happy Feet Howling Banshees moving in there, and they're going to be getting right on top of those guys. We do see the Snare Trap dropped, and the Banshees are kind of getting mowed down. So one Banshee squad here getting Last Samurai really hard by the Tau firing line, but elsewhere, the Eldar looking all right. Remember, they have the initiative, and if the Tau want to just turtle in their little Unga Bunga box here, they're going to have to come out eventually. We do, of course, see the stealth poking back here from the Rangers. Rangers now going to be getting forced back a little bit, and good fight for the Tau. I mean, this could be their comeback tour here. We'll have to see. Falcon Grav Tank getting it a little bit. I don't know if the stealth teams are in here. Definitely a bit of a mistake if not. A couple stealth teams with the proper upgrades would be able to melt this Grav Tank very quickly, but it looks like the Tau are just kind of raw dogging it. And Lightning Storm coming in from the Farseer. Happy Feet, Howling Banshees going to be moving in. Dark Reaper is going to be setting up. Rangers continuing to shoot. And they do get into melee once again. And one of the Fire Warrior squads is going to be tied down. Vehicles perpetually getting mowed down. And this will probably be the game ender here, as we do see the Wraith Lord coming in. And I don't think this army really has the means of taking down armor. It's been something they've been kind of struggling with. This Falcon Grav Tank has been alive a long time. And the Howling Banshee is able to endure, while the Dark Reapers and the armor check here is able to get it done, with the Rangers applying the morale debuff, which is so good. Lord Labudova saying he hates this map. See, I'm too much of a potato to really understand the map nuances, but overall, very fun. GG, well played. Great match between these players. And Aspect showing why he is certainly the Wraith Knight, the Dark Lord of the Eldar. He's been looking really good. I would imagine he's a very high-level player. The way he plays him is just so clean. All right, folks, that is going to be it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed that one. I certainly did. We'll be back with more Dawn of War gameplay, including community casts, tournament casts like this, as well as some games of my own where I just am unga-bungaing around the map. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. We'll have another Dawn of War tournament coming up very soon, and that is going to be it for tonight. Cheers.